Two people, same city, same age, both broke. 10 years later, one is still fighting the same bills. The other has built something that didn't exist before. Similar beginning, completely different place. And if you look closely at what actually changed, it had nothing to do with talent, or timing, or luck. There's a question worth sitting with. Why do some people get out of circumstances that trap others who are just as capable? It's not a comfortable question, because the honest answer isn't only about resources. It tends to be about something quieter, how someone handles waiting, failure, uncertainty, and identity. 5 patterns, and none of them require money to begin. One of them is the opposite of what most advice tells you. The first one is about time. More specifically, the ability to wait for things that matter. Most of us aren't naturally good at this. The brain prefers now. A reward today feels bigger than the same reward next year. That's just how we're built. But the people I'm describing seem to develop a different relationship with time. They don't just delay reward. They find something inside the waiting itself. Not comfort necessarily, but meaning. And that changes how long they can keep going. The second pattern is harder to see from the outside. It's about identity. When you stay in difficult circumstances long enough, those circumstances can start to feel like who you are, not just where you are. And that shift from I'm in a hard situation to I'm someone who can't get out might be the most expensive thing poverty does. People who tend to rise often do something early. They separate the two. They can be completely broke and still not see themselves as broken. That gap, small as it sounds, seems to matter enormously. But changing how you see yourself is only half of it. The next one is about what you actually do with that. Third pattern. They start before they feel ready. And this one I find genuinely interesting because most people think confidence comes first. You build it, then you act. But when you look at people who build something from nothing, the sequence often seems reversed. They act. And then confidence follows. Not always. Not immediately. But they create evidence through repetition. Small proof that they can do the next thing. They don't wait to feel ready. They decide that moving is how they'll get there. Fourth, uncertainty. Most people find it genuinely uncomfortable, and I think that's completely rational. The brain is designed to prefer known outcomes. Certainty feels like safety, but building something from nothing almost always means moving through territory where the outcome is unclear. A new business, a different career, an unfamiliar skill. No map, no guarantee. And what I notice in people who navigate this well, they don't love uncertainty. They've just learned to function inside it. That's a different thing. And the fifth, this is the one that surprised me the most, because it has nothing to do with strategy. Fifth, and this one is the most personal. What drives people who build from nothing is often not where they're moving toward. It's what they're moving away from. A specific moment, a specific feeling. Being dismissed, being underestimated. Not having enough in ways that were humiliating. External praise is a weak motivator over long periods. It comes and goes, but some people carry something older and heavier, and they convert it, not into anger necessarily, into a very quiet, very stubborn kind of drive. What I keep coming back to with all 5 of these is that none of them are things you're simply born with. They look like personality, but they behave more like skills, which means something interesting. The difficulty that seems to block people, in some cases, is also what builds them. Not always. Not automatically. But there's a version of the story where the hardest starting conditions produce the most durable mind. That's not inspirational. It's just an observation worth sitting with. So, if there's one thing in all of this, getting out is rarely just a financial story. The money tends to come later. What tends to come first is a different relationship with waiting, an identity that doesn't surrender to circumstance, and a kind of fuel that praise can't replicate. The road from nothing is long, but the thing that starts the walk usually has nothing to do with money at all. If this perspective landed, subscribe. This is what this channel is for. Behind the behavior. Every behavior has a reason.